this decision actually, or this announcement by Jacob Zuma last night, done for the rand, Dan?
Well, it's not just the currency. Of course, it's done wonders for the rand, Uveka, overnight. At one point last night, as the President Jacob Zuma announced that he was stepping down, it was touching 11 rand 66 at some point. It sort of lost a little bit of ground since then, but still sitting at a lovely level of about 11.73 to the US dollar just a short while ago when I checked. And overall, the markets, particularly in the Western world, like in Wall Street, and analysts, they're responding very positively. There has been this anticipated resignation of Jacob Zuma for some time, and now that it has happened, it has injected some positive energy into the markets. But Franscois Stofberg is here as well to give me his insights this morning. Your overriding sense as an economist post the news of Jacob Zuma's resignation?
Well, exuberance, I think, is still the key word here. We've seen that since December, actually, when Cyril was chosen as the new head of the ANC, and I think we've been building on that. It did come a bit unexpected. Yes, we did see it on markets. Markets were already starting to price it in, but the building on exuberance is a good thing, and I think that's exactly what you need in the short term to get some hope back into the bones of the people of South Africa.
Cyril Ramaphosa is going to be sworn in as the new head of state by the end of today, if the parliamentary process goes according to plan. We do know, of course, that first thing this morning, Jacob Zuma has to write an official letter to Baleka Mbete in parliament to say, Speaker, I'm gone, and that's a parliamentary process that must be done. Cyril Ramaphosa has said his precedence of the ANC when he started, it's about renewal, it's about recovery, it's about creating jobs. These are key economic terms as well, to renew the economy, renew confidence in the economy, to lead towards economic recovery. Some people are already predicting that our economy might grow beyond 2% amid this changed political climate. What do you think?
Yes, definitely. Once again, in the short term, the exuberance does help, and you can see an uptick in the next quarter, maybe 2 quarters. Then you can get up to 1.8%. I wouldn't stretch it above 2%. I think over the long term, what we've seen since actually 2009 with the global financial crisis and wrongful use of policy, fiscal policy, etc., it has degraded a lot of the fundamentals of South Africa's economy, that we just can't support 2, 3, 4% economic growth anymore. So yes, this is a good jumping board to get us back to that point where we can reach that growth.
What should Cyril Ramaphosa and his new team, post him being sworn in as a new head of state, focus on to begin that journey of economic recovery?
Very key point that you said there, his new team. So that's the first thing. He'd be the new head now, but around him he needs a new team of policy setters. I think that's the key point. What we've been lacking is strong leadership that can drive us strategically to a new sustainable growth, or a new sustainable South Africa. And there you have to focus most keenly, as probably lying right around the corner, and that's on budget that we'll see in February. That's going to be very important. How we use state finances is going to be very important, because it's a very strong, big tool.
Okay, budget is next week, Wednesday. 21st, okay? If Malusi Kigaba is still finance minister, what should we be looking him to say? I mean, markets, for instance, like certainty.
Markets like certainty, but markets have grown tired of seeing what they've seen out of South Africa over the last couple of years, because it's not enough to grow the economy, it's not enough to create jobs, and that creates discontent in the economy, and discontent breeds a low growth environment. So what we want to see is really a much clearer plan of how we can strategically drive the economy forward. And for that you need to see once again the spending on infrastructure, the spending on housing, the spending on supporting factories, subsidies that support business and business growth, the social economic zones, etc. We want to see a refocus on that, and also a good economic upliftment plan, and that's on the side of education. We've been spending a lot of education, but we haven't seen the results that we need to drive long-term growth.
Wasteful expenditure, for instance, has also characterized the past few years of our government. So I guess there has to be a focus as well, the markets, and we should look to, and the markets as well, I'm saying, and we should be looking to Cyril Ramaphosa and his team to begin to tighten that a little bit and clean up wasteful expenditure.
That's a very good point. We had around 85 billion rands wasteful and irregular expenditure. I mean, that's all the money you need for free tertiary education, just there. For the first year, I get that, but just do what we do it more efficiently, and we have money.
Now, Cyril Ramaphosa has also spoken about a new social compact.
Yes.
When he delivered the ANC January 8 statement. That includes business, that includes labor. I mean, you can describe it anyhow. We know there's been a huge trust deficit between business, government and labor, and some of the corruption scandals involving the famous Gupta family with Zuma have not really covered business also in a good way. We've also seen the Steinhoffs of this world recently. So there's a lot of work to be done there as well.
Yeah, definitely. But we have been emphasizing this point, that he is the right leader to do this. He's the right type of leader that understands both parts of the line. Politics, or well, all three parts of the line, if you want to see it like politics, labor. I mean, he's gone through quite a tough time with labor, we know that, but business as well. He has what we believe are the right relationships in all these unique areas to actually be the one to bring it together. So we're very hopeful for what he's about to
test it in the next coming few weeks.
Yeah, he will.
Thank you very much, Francois. Well, there you have it, Uveka, Franscois Stofberg saying that if there's anybody who can try and restore that trust between business, labor and government, it is Cyril Ramaphosa. Secondly, it's not going to be a short-term road. This is a long-term road, but there are certain things that need to be done immediately. And firstly, people are going to be watching. What kind of team will Cyril Ramaphosa put around him, particularly when it comes to matters of the fiscus?